anyị na-ekpere elu gọọmenti Peter Mba adịt gọọmenti ka ha bịa be anyị doziere anyị ọnọdụ anyị ka ọ dị mma ka anyị si chọọ ya na ka anyị si chọọ ya bụ na ndị gboo eshent edozigo ihe ahụ nọ na ihe megide bụ anyị ukwu bịa n'Igbo kịta anyị amasị n'ụtọ so n'ọha ma ọ bụ n'oyibo anyị ukwu bịa na-eme ihe a.
Dịka obodo abụọ ndị a nọ n'ikpe, ụfọdụ ndị si na obodo agha dị aba na-ayọkwa gọọmenti Enugu ka ha gbatara ha ọsọ enyemaka. Site na Enugu, Okechukwu Agụbama, onye nta akụkọ.
Onye isi ala Bola Tinubu nọrọ ụbọchị Wednesday bụ abalị 3 ọnwa Eprel afọ abụ 2024 binye aka n'akwụkwọ iwu na-achọ maka ịgbazinye ụmụ akwụkwọ mahadum ego mee ya ka ọ bụrụ iwu. Onye ndụmọdụ onye isi ala pụrụ iche n'okwu gbasatara mgbasa ozi Ajuri kọwara elele dị na ndozigharị a. Akụkọ a ga-abịara gị n'uju n'asụsụ Bekee. Ụlọ ọrụ na-ahụ maka iji otu afọ efe ala nna anyị a NYSC n'aha ịchafụ Bekee egosipụtala obi ekele nyere ụlọ ọrụ na-ahụ maka ule eji aba ụlọ akwụkwọ dị elu nakwa mahadum JAMB n'aha ịchafụ Bekee maka mmasị na uchu ya nyere ihe omume amụma ọkachasị ebe o metụtara usoro ikpokọta ọnụ. Director General NYSC Brigadier General Yushai Ahmed kwuru nke a mgbe ọ nabatara ndị isi ụlọ ọrụ JAMB nke onye ndu ha bụ Registrar Ọkammụta Ishaq Oleyede n'ụlọ ọrụ ya na Abuja. Onye isi NYSC kwuru na ndonye ukwu dị n'etiti ụlọ ọrụ abụọ a eteela o bidoro ma ọ ga na-agakwa n'ihu na ha nwetara ebumnobi ha maka iwulite mmepe ala anyị. Ọ gakwara n'ihu wee kwuo na ha ga-akpachapụ anya ịhụ na ha gbochiri ndị amakeekwu ịga n'ọbọ ngụkọ ha ya nakwa usoro mkpokọta nke NYSC. N'ihe dịka ụzọ ga-amịta mkpụrụ isi buso ihe mberede ogologo ụgbọala trela ọgụ, ndị ọrụ Federal Road Safety na ndị otu ọrụ gbanụgbanụ ibe ha ekpokọrọ ọnụ ejidela ụgbọala trela dị 35 bụ mmadụ dị 982. Oyeyemi Ajayi wetara akụkọ a, gere ntụgharị ya. A ga-echeta na Kọmashal Federal Road Safety Corps Dauda Ali Bio n'isi nso a guzobere ndị ọrụ gbanụgbanụ ekpokọrọ ọnụ ha na ụlọ ọrụ ogbo ha ndị ọzọ imegide ibukọta mmadụ na anụmanụ ọnụ n'ụgbọala. O doro anya bụrụkwa ihe ịgba akaebe na ọ bụghịzi otu ọ dị mbụ ka ọ dị ugbu a site na nwụchikọ ọ nwụchikọrọ ụgbọala trela dị 35 bụ mmadụ 982 n'isi nso a. Trela dị 19 n'ọnụọgụ bụ mmadụ 810 bụ nke ejidere n'ụzọ awara awara si Kaduna gawa Abuja, ebe otu gbanụgbanụ a ekpokọrọ ọnụ n'ahụ maka Bauchi na Maiduguri jidere trela 16 bụ 100 mmadụ na 17 n'ụzọ ahụ. Njide a bụ nke e mere n'ime otu izu ụka o jiri malite ọrụ a. Ọ bụ akụkọ a ka anyị ji apịacha akụwa nke orista, ma tupu m bilie gere isiokwu ndị ghọrọ anyị akụkọ. Ndị obodo ọha dị aba dị n'okpuru ọchịchị Ezeagụ ezigarala gọọmenti steeti Enugu ozi ka ọ gbatara ha ọsọ enyemaka gbasara nsogbu izu oke ala. Ekele na otito na ha awụbata dịka onye isi ala Tinubu kwadoro akwụkwọ iwu na-ahụ maka ịgbazinye ụmụ akwụkwọ ego. Anyị kọkwara gị na NYSC na JAMB ga-arụkọ ọrụ ọnụ maka usoro mkpokọta bụ ịgba. Ebe a ka akụkọ ụwa nke abalị taa kọrọ ọnụ. Chebrizematu maka akụkọ ụwa n'asụsụ Bekee apụkwala n'ọdịkwa ebe ị nọ.
Top stories tonight. Indigenes of Ohadiaba community in Ezago send SOS to Enugu state government over land disputes. Commendation and accolade pour in as President Tinubu assents to Student Loan Act. Plus, NYSC to partner JAMB on a seamless mobilization process. Remember, you can watch us live on our YouTube channel at NTA ENUGU. Good evening and welcome to the news at 7. I am Matthew Amoke, the news in detail. Indigenes of Ohadiaba community in Ezago local government area of Enugu State have appealed to the state government to mediate and provide truce to the boundary dispute between them and the Oyofo Oye community. The community heads made the appeal at the wake of the recent crisis which erupted over land disputes. Okechukwu Agubama reports.
This is Aga Diaba community in Ezagu local government area of Enugu State. The once peaceful community was recently immersed in a needless violence alleged to have been carried out by youths of neighboring community Oyofo Oye. Several attempts to resolve the age-long boundary dispute between Aga Diaba and Oyofo Oye have not been honored.
It is because of the failure for them to tell their youth the truth. That is what led to all these events. This is 100% preventable. We could have used political way to solve this problem. It's all about land disputes.
Anxiety reigns as the community leaders are cautioned to refrain from inciting indigenes against one another.
I'm begging the governor of Enugu State, if you can come to this boundary, to settle this boundary problem, the issue of boundary between Oha and Oyoho, so that the peace go lane.
The government should not relent until peace is actually restored, between these two communities. Because except peace reigns, you discover that nobody will actually sleep with two eyes closed.
I'm calling on our amiable governor, Honorable Barrister Peter Mba, to come to our rescue in this problem. We don't want to have further killings again. And as a matter of fact, there will be peace and tranquility as long as the law enforcement agencies come and build like a barrier between the two communities.
While the boundary dispute between the two communities are subject of litigations, indigenes of Aga Diaba community are requesting speedy government mediation by ensuring a peace accord committee comes up with peaceful resolution to the communal conflict. In Enugu, Okechukwu Agubama, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024, signed into law the Student Loans Access to Higher Education Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2024. The act is of historic proportions as it seeks to guarantee sustainable higher education and functional skill development for all Nigerian students and youths. Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajurin Gelali, explains the merits of the amendments.
Repealed Student Loan Act 2023 had challenges bordering on governance and management, purpose of the loans, eligibility criteria for applicants, method of application, repayment provisions, and recovery of loans. The act signed into law by the President addresses the challenges as it establishes the Nigeria Education Loan Fund as a body that can sue and be sued in its name and has the power to acquire, hold, and dispose of movable and immovable property for the purpose of its functions. This ensures that a fund can legally enter contracts, including loan agreements, and may also initiate action to ensure repayment by beneficiaries. It also empowers the fund to provide loans to qualified Nigerians for tuition, fees, charges, and upkeep during their studies in approved tertiary academic institutions, vocational and skills acquisition institutions in Nigeria. It allows it to build, operate and maintain a diversified pool of funds to provide loans to qualified applicants. The amendments ensure that students can apply for and receive loans to cover tuition, institutional charges and upkeep. It separates the governance functions from the management operations of NEL Fund by establishing a board of directors with a chairman and secretary. Members of the board are drawn from relevant ministries, regulatory bodies, and participating agencies and other stakeholders. A management team led by a managing director, including executive directors responsible for the day-to-day management and operations of the fund, has also been provided. Meanwhile, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria appoints the board and management. The amendment properly defines the resource structure of the fund, among other things, establishing the General Reserve Fund, into which shall be paid 1% of all taxes, levies and duties collected by the Federal Inland Revenue Service and accruing to the benefit of the federal government, from which the fund shall pay amounts payable as loans to qualified applicants for tuition, fees, charges and upkeep, as well as funds operational expenses and such expenditures necessary to attaining the fund's objectives and functions. The new act provides for eligibility criteria for applicants. As it removes the family income threshold, so Nigerian students can apply for these loans and accept responsibility for repayment according to the fund's guidelines. The guarantor requirement has been removed to enable students apply for and receive loans subject to application and identity verification guidelines. The new act addresses disqualification based on applicants' parents' loan history. This is through a justice and fairness provision established, mandating the board to ensure a minimum spread of loans approved and disbursed in each financial year. Applicants to the fund may apply for loans to cover tuition and other fees payable to the school and maintenance allowance payable to the students. On the repayment of loans by beneficiaries, the fund shall not initiate fund recovery efforts until 2 years after the completion of the National Youth Service Program. A beneficiary may request an extension of enforcement action by the fund by providing a sworn affidavit indicating that he or she is not employed in any capacity and is not receiving any income. Only a person who provides a false statement to the fund under this section is guilty of a felony and liable to imprisonment for 3 years. The new act also makes provision for loan forgiveness in the event of death or acts of God causing inability to repay. The new act, in Gelale says, paves the path for the protection of Nigeria's future by ensuring that citizens have the means to fund their education, acquire critical skills, and become productive contributors to national development. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Minister of State for Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, has commended President Bola Tinubu for strengthening the student loan bill with new inclusions to cover initially excluded student groups and by giving quick assent to the bill. Olawande, in a statement, noted that by assenting to the Student Loan Act, President Bola Tinubu has shown that he is not just talking about investing in the future, but also committed to making it happen. While encouraging young people to take advantage of the opportunity, the minister added that with this development, the future of Nigeria looks bright, as the law is a game changer in the nation's educational system. He further stated that the law will go a long way to open a world of opportunities for all Nigerian students and young people looking to pursue higher education and skill development. The minister told every young person willing to dream and aspire to see the law as an invitation to step up and get educated and contribute to the growth and development of the nation. He pledged that the Ministry of Youth Development will work closely with NEL Fund to ensure that the law is effective and that youths of Nigeria derive maximum benefits that would aid their quest for quality education. Still to come, Federal Safety Corps Joint Task Force arrests trailers with passengers. Details of this and more when we return. Do stay with us.
Our 2 p.m. news now comes up every day, Monday to Friday. Stay with NTA ENUGU Network Center.
Welcome back. Moving on, the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, has expressed appreciation to the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, for its passion and commitment in the programs of the scheme, especially towards achieving a credible and seamless mobilization process. Director General of NYSC, Brigadier General Yusha Ahmed, said this when he received the management from JAMB, led by the registrar, Professor Ishak Oloyede, in his office in Abuja. The NYSC boss said the partnership between the two organizations has come a long way and must continue to build on it to achieve their goals in the interest of national development. On his part, Registrar of JAMB said both organizations must be proactive in their activities so as to prevent unscrupulous persons from infiltrating JAMB database and NYSC mobilization process. The JAMB registrar also noted that the board will provide its list of registered candidates for NYSC so as to harmonize and fish out unqualified candidates that may fraudulently present themselves to mobilization for national service. In what seems to be an effective strategy in the fight against trailer crashes, Federal Road Safety Corps Interagency Joint Task Force has arrested 35 trailers conveying 982 passengers. Oyeyemi Ajayi has the details.
It will be recalled that recently the Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps, Dauda Alibio, established an interagency joint task force against conveyance of humans with animals and goods by trailers. Obviously, it's evident that it's not business as usual with the recent arrest of 35 trailers conveying 982 passengers. A total of 19 trailers carrying 810 people were apprehended at the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway, while the Joint Task Force team covering Bauchi-Maiduguri General Operation Area of the Corps also arrested 16 trailers conveying 172 passengers on that route. These arrests were perfected within the first 1 week of operation. While the special operation is going on, the Corps Marshal has directed sector commanders of the states where the act is more prominent to sustain ongoing engagement with the leadership of road transport unions as well as owners of articulated vehicles to ensure that drivers who engage in such traffic violations are cautioned. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
For the latest in the world of sports, here are the tidbits for today. To end the news, a review of the major stories. The people of Ohadiaba community in a Zagu local government area of Enugu State have appealed to the Enugu State government to intervene in a boundary dispute between them and the people of Oyoyoye community. The National Youth Service Corps is to partner the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board towards achieving a credible and seamless mobilization process. We also reported that Federal Road Safety Corps Joint Task Force has arrested 35 trailers conveying 982 passengers. That was the news. Remember, security is a collective responsibility. Please play your part. Thank you for watching. Good night.
The family of late Mazi Jeremiah Udefi Eze, aka Oyibo, of Umukwoke Ezioha village in Ezineri Mbidi, Ogun local government area of Enugu State, announces the transition of their son, brother, uncle, husband, and father, Mr. Bartholomew Ikechukwu Eze, Bachem Onyeze, aged 45. Burial arrangement, Tuesday, 2nd April 2024, 5 p.m. Service of songs at his residence, 2/3 Ugweze Street, Ologo News Site, near Camp, Enugu. Friday, 5th April, 6 p.m. Wake at his native home, Umukwoke Ezioha Mbidi. Saturday, 6th April, body leaves Eastern Nigeria Medical Mortuary by 7 a.m. to his hometown. Burial mass starts by 9 a.m. Interment follows immediately. Reception at AK Village Square, Ezioha Mgbede. Sunday, 7th April 2024. Thanksgiving service at St. Peter's Anglican Church, Mgbede, by 9 a.m. He is survived by brothers, sisters, uncles, wife, and son. May his soul rest